Hello class 11, I am doing the play Macbeth with you. This is the fourth video of the play. So kindly take out your book to page number 46. But before I start, I want to give you a brief recapitulation of what we have done in our previous video. So we have seen that Macbeth had already killed Duncan, and he could understand that eventually he had killed his lead. Okay, he comes to his wife, who orders him to clean off the stains from his hand. And what did she do? She kind of puts a stain of blood in the cheeks of the other two guards, the grooms who were outside Duncan's room. So after that, what happens is that the two sons of Duncan, that is Donalbain and Malcolm, they fly off. Malcolm goes to the English court, while Donalbain he goes to Ireland. Okay. Now, although all the proofs were against the groom, but there was a clean sheet of suspicion against Macbeth. So after that, as there were no successor to the throne, it was Macbeth who was ultimately crowned as the King of Scotland. Macbeth and his queen could not forget the prophecy of the weird sister that though Macbeth would be the king, but the children of Banquo and not of Macbeth would be the kings after him. The thought that had defiled their hands with blood by committing regicide only to place the posterity of Banquo upon the throne had rankled within them. So they decided to kill Banquo and his son Cleance to nullify the prediction of the weird sisters. For this purpose, they arranged a banquet to which they invited all the chief thanes along with Banquo and Cleance. Macbeth appointed some hired assassins and beset them on the way Banquo and his son were supposed to pass. The assassins pounced upon them and killed Banquo, but Cleance managed to escape. Now what has happened after this? The next thought that engulfed them, that was that if all the prophecies of Macbeth came true, then definitely the prophecies of Banquo will also come true. But the prophecy of Banquo was that he might not be the king, but his son or his next generation will be king someday. So they lay up a plan. They arranged for the feast, and they called all the nobles over the place, and they called Banquo and Cleance as well. Now, assassins are the people who are, they are ordered or they are instructed to kill someone on behalf of some money, and they were laid upon on the street from which Banquo or Cleance will pass. Now, while this had happened, what has happened is that Banquo, although was killed, but Cleance, he escaped. Meanwhile, Macbeth and his wife played the role of the perfect host with affable, graceful manners that conciliated everyone present in the banquet. Macbeth discoursed freely with the thanes and noblemen and regretted the absence of his dearest friend Banquo. No sooner did he lament for his friend whom he was missing in the banquet, Macbeth saw the ghost of Banquo occupying the seat reserved for him. At this horrible sight, his cheeks became white fear, and he stood quite unmannered with his eyes fixed upon the ghost. His queen and all other nobles saw nothing, but perceived him gazing upon an empty chair. They took it to be the fit of distraction, and Lady Macbeth even reproached him and told him it was the same fancy which made him see the dagger in the air when he about to murder Duncan. But here, in place of he about, he was about to, it will be. Please use the verb was in your book. But Macbeth continued to visualize the ghost of Banquo and gave no heed to all the noblemen could say, and addressed the ghost with the distracted words. Lady Macbeth, fearing the dreadful secret would be disclosed, and in great haste and dismissed the guests, accusing the infirmity of Macbeth. So meanwhile, Lady Macbeth she played a great role of an hostess, and Macbeth was also cheering with the other noblemen. But he suddenly saw Banquo's ghost in that meeting. Okay, but Banquo was already killed, and he knows that himself. So he kept on talking to Banquo. But rest of the people, they could not understand with whom is he speaking, because the chair was empty. Then his wife said him that, you need rest, you please go back, because maybe you are hallucinating like the same way you have hallucinated the dagger just before the murder of Duncan. So better you go. So the other guests, they started imagining that maybe Macbeth is facing some kind of a mental problem, and that is the reason he is kind of hallucinating things which he should not have hallucinated. Okay. Macbeth and his wife had their sleeps affected with terrible dreams, and blood of Banquo troubled them not more than escape of Fleance, whom they now looked upon as a father to a line of kings who would keep their posterity out of the throne. With these thoughts, they found no peace, and Macbeth decided to visit the heath once more in search of the three weird sisters to know his final outcome. So both Macbeth and Lady Macbeth, they couldn't sleep anymore. The thought that Fleance had already escaped and someday he is going to become the king, kept on coming to their mind, and they dreamt dreadful dreams, which involved the blood of Banquo. So, while this has happened, Macbeth he wanted to go again to the heath in the same place where he had met the witches, and he wanted to know that what is there in the future. Okay, what will be his outcome? Okay. He found them in a cave near the heath, where they were engaged in preparing their charms, in which they conjured up infernal spirits to reveal their futurity. Their horrid ingredients were toad, bat, serpent's eye of a newt, tongue of a dog, leg of a lizard, the wing of a night owl, the scale of a dragon. Please underline. These are the things which they really need. All these things are very evil, okay? The tooth of a wolf, the mummy of a witch, and the root of a hemlock, and the gall of a goat, the liver of a Jew, the finger of a dead child. All these were set on to boil in a huge cauldron, which was cooled with the baboon's blood. To this they poured in the blood of a sow that had eaten her young. So all the animals' blood flashes together, they were boiling along with the baboon's blood. And they threw it to the flame to grease that they had sweetened from the murder goblet. But these charms, they bound the informal spirits to answer their questions. So all this they were boiling for their own purpose. When Macbeth comes and he starts asking them various questions, because he demands a lot of thing from them. He wants to know what is it that is what is holding for him in the future. So underline all these things, that they are kind of boiling, their horrid ingredients, all these are. And these questions can come for you, short questions, so they are very important, this paragraph. In my next video I shall continue with the next portions of Macbeth. Hope you are enjoying the play, and please keep on reading them as soon as possible, because Macbeth is a very important chapter for you. Thank you.